Bryan Broaddus.
2nd and 10. Prescott fakes a toss right. He's got Lamb wide open on the right side of the end zone. And the second and Raiders. Touchdown, CeeDee Lamb.
That was the first of 4 passing touchdowns for Dak Prescott as the Cowboys go on the road after the bye, and they get a Monday Night Football win in Vegas, 33-16. They're now 4-5-1 on the season, and Dak Prescott with those 4 passing touchdowns. That is his 41st career game with 3 or more passing touchdowns, as he has now passed Tony Romo for the most 3 touchdown games in franchise history. He's 4 passing touchdowns tonight in his 13 games with 4+ touchdown passes, the most in franchise history, and tied for the 7th most in an NFL player's first 10 seasons. Cowboys win it 33-16. Official postgame show of your Dallas Cowboys. Brought to you by Pepsi. Made for Cowboys watching. Zach Wolchuk alongside the Super Bowl winning scout Bryan Broaddus. 877-881-1053. 877-881-1053. The number to call, the number to text here on a victorious postgame. And look, this one started a little rough. It was a 3-and-out. You did not have CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens out on the field. This was a surprise. We're looking at each other like, what is going on? Did they miss a meeting? Maybe we'll find out here in the postgame on some of the locker room scrum we get. The Cowboys 3-and-out. Vegas punts. Then you have a fumble. Max Crosby stripping Dak Prescott. Defense able to hold. Tough. They only allow a field goal. And from that point on, the Cowboys scored on every single drive. Field goal, touchdown, 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 touchdown. And then in the fourth quarter, when they're up already 31-9, is when you had the downs happen and then one punt. But they really settled into a groove following that third possession.
Yeah, they did settle down, and the thing that was going to, if there was an element that was probably going to carry the Raiders tonight, it probably was going to be Max Crosby. And you felt like that, if you could kind of handle him, that maybe things would be okay. And right off the jump, though, it wasn't as clean as it needed to be. And then they started to do some elements where they're pinning the guards back to him. I think they tried to, throughout the game, frustrate him a different way. Span Ford, Schoonmaker, Ferguson, tackle.
Booker, got into it at one point. Smith pulling around.
I saw one time where, believe it or not, Turpin goes over, to try and help. So yeah, they knew damn good and well going into this game that he potentially could be a big problem. And like I say, that first couple of series, you felt that problem, but then from that point on, though, I think they did a pretty solid job of neutralizing, one of the better defensive players just overall, run or pass, in the National Football League.
They really did. And offensively, George Pickens was unguardable. He was playing like a man possessed tonight. He looked like the best wide receiver in football with the way he played.
We knew going in that and I'm really interested to see when we get the analytics here 30 minutes after the game, that how much did the Raiders, they play just a ton of base defense. They really, really rely on their secondary to play in coverage, and it didn't matter. It was whoever Pickens was on, and he's been that way all year. He has been a very difficult cover. They do a great job of moving him around. Catching the ball on the move. We never really saw that very much of him at Pittsburgh.
No, stationary target.
We saw it a lot at Georgia.
Yeah,
and we knew the type of player. And I know when we got to visit with him in training camp, we were saying, hey, playing on the move, ball out in front, run after catch. You could kind of see his eyes light up because he knew, because that guy has got that kind of ability. And I'll say this and I'll say it again. I think Lamb has been good. I think Pickens has been better. And I say that in all respect. I'm not trying to say, but you look at what George Pickens has done for your offense. He is a nightmare. Like this week, when Vic Fangio sits down and looks at the defense tomorrow morning when he goes there at the NovaCare Center, he's going to see Pickens and he's going to go, Remember the first game, though? It was really Lamb who made all the plays.
It was the CeeDee Lamb show, and if it wasn't for a couple of those drops, they might have won one there.
Yeah,
in Philly.
well, he's now going to have to worry about. He's going to have to worry about two.
But it was Pickens drawing the pass interference. Like that is the one thing about Pickens.
Oh, yeah.
Even CD was 100-yard game, then he got hurt, right, against Chicago. But even with CD putting up the bigger numbers, Pickens was still impacting the game with the pass interferences that he was drawing.
I just have the utmost respect for him, and I think I have the utmost respect for the Cowboys coaches for the way that they use him. We just getting him the ball on the move. We saw that so many times.
Well, and credit Dak. That was something that we've definitely criticized about Dak. His ability to hit a moving target, lead a receiver, hit somebody in stride, and he's done a much better job of that.
Much better job of that. And they ran the ball effectively, and I kind of felt like that going into the game, here we are 10, 11 games in, and the Raiders' defense was averaging less than 4 yards a carry, and inside runs were at 3.7. And Dallas did a good job coming off the ball. Spanford has been he's been a real pleasure this year when you watch him. How he's been able to block. Man, I tell you, that was just all around great job. All around great job by the defense, with all those guys coming back. And, it felt like today, instead of playing with 11, they played with everybody that dressed.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody that was a defensive player that got to dress had an opportunity. It was great to see Carson out there for a long stretch of time, Ravel to be out there, Overshown to be out there. Now the key will be, how do these guys feel? This will be a short week for them, having to get ready for an important game. These have all become must-win games. They really have. And so, they have got to, the bodies have not had a lot of bang, and, but they're somewhat fresh. But how they feel tomorrow is going to be key, because you're going to need all these cats for that Philadelphia game on Sunday.
And Deron Bland, I mean, what a bounce-back game. It was rough against Arizona, and that was one of my biggest concerns after that game. You paid Deron Bland, and that was a guy that I was all about signing. I love the play temperament, the style in which he plays with. He led your team in tackles. I don't know that you always want your corner leading the team in tackles, but Bland was awesome, and he made some plays. Vintage Bland breaking on the football.
Yeah, and really the Raider receivers, I mean, they covered them up pretty well. Going into the game, I was not sure how they were going to play Bowers. They treated him like a wide receiver. You saw,
and that's how you should play him.
Carson on him,
basically a receiver.
Carson, Bland. They took turns, and I went into this thing thinking they got nobody that could cover this guy. Now he had catches. He had a lot of targets in this game too.
Yeah,
and he's
12.
one of the better players. When you one of the better weapons in the league. But Dallas overall did a nice job of dealing with him in this football game.
And I understand it is the Raiders' offensive line. And
they're horrible.
It's the worst offensive line the Cowboys will play all year.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Lincoln Kennedy on our morning show on 105.3 The Fan, the flagship, he talked about it, and he knows offensive linemen better than any, especially in a Raider uniform.
He's seen them all.
You scouted it. You let us know. It looked bad, but gosh, the alternative, right? If they're sitting here and they didn't look good, we'd be worried. Quinnen Williams, hello.
Yeah.
What a debut for him. Kenny Clark, I mean, he definitely helped everybody along that front as Araku continues to come on.
Right.
And Clowney the last two games has been really good.
Yeah, Clowney has done a really nice job. There was some early stuff in the game, early plays in the game where they didn't get the waggle and the boot stuff right. Where it's Sam Williams, they lost some outside contain. There were some problems with some of the crossing routes that they didn't particularly pick up well. I've been very critical of Hooker. I thought he made a couple of plays in the game that were really effective. They're going to need that. They're going to need that the rest of the way. They're going to need pressure. They're going to need run stops. They're going to need to get off the field. They're going to need safeties. Really, they've put themselves in a hole. But, Philadelphia at home gives you a chance. Kansas City's a 500 team right now. You've got to find a way to just put together 4 or 5 games in a row. You can't just keep trading games. You can't all of a sudden go to, have this game at home against Philadelphia and lay a big damn egg.
No, you got to stack some wins.
You have to stack some wins.
I do think, it is important to not, and some text coming in like, hey, it's the Raiders. Let's see what they do.
Folks, we
against
get
the
it.
big
It's
team.
the Raiders.
I understand.
We get
100%.
it. It's the Raiders. And if you've listened to us all week, we've talked about it's the Raiders.
Yep.
If you listen to the damn pregame show, we told you the Raiders were not good. Okay? You got an opportunity to see some guys play tonight. All right? You got to see some different combinations of guys who haven't played all year. Yes, it was encouraging. I told you how crummy their offensive line was all week. We talked about it in all our programs. We get it. We know it. It's the Raiders. Right. But you got to see some guys play tonight that haven't played in a whole damn year, and how key it is them to get home, get healed up, and get ready for a big game. Next week, it's Philadelphia. Then it's on Thursday, it's Kansas City. Then after that, it's Detroit. They're all big damn games. You got to find a way to win these games, folks. Find a way to win it, move on. I don't want to hear any crap from anybody today about the Raiders because we were the first MFers to tell you the Raiders weren't any good, okay? We know. You could go back to whatever you're doing. You don't have to text anymore. We hear you. You could call in and say the same damn thing that we said all effing week about this football team.
Yep.
Okay? But you got to find a way to put some games together and win some games because you didn't beat the Arizona Cardinals. You didn't beat the Carolina Panthers. You didn't beat the Chicago Bears when they were 0-2. Okay? So now you're in a situation where a win is a GD win right now.
Yeah.
Okay? That's where we're at.
And you're going to take it.
Yeah, and I'm going to take it.
Absolutely. Well said. A dub is a
Jesus
dub. We don't
Christ.
choose these schedules for 69. I'm with you, Brian, because I was going to get irritated too, but you took that baton, you took that mic,
I'm just telling
and
you,
just spiked it, baby.
I'm just telling these people all week long we told you this was a bad football team offensively. On the offensive line. Said it. I can't tell you how many times on all these platforms I'm on, I told you that this team is a bad offensive line. I get it, folks. It's a win. Take it, move on, because you don't have enough of them right now.
No, you don't. And goodness gracious, I think all of us were a little bit worried coming into this one. Don't lie to yourself. Could Geno Smith and this Raiders offense do something good against this Cowboys defense? We didn't know what to expect. Defense came to play tonight. And offensively, first two drives, disgusting. But then they figured it out, and they went and absolutely went BTA, baby. That's belt to booty, Brian.
You got
Except
it.
The A is A.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you understand.
I understand.
You get where that is. Want to use what the pros use? Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit getjackblack.com today. We got Brad Sham. Your calls and texts. Why do we have some lines open? 877-881-1053. Cowboys get the Monday night win with heavy hearts. 33-16 on the road in Vegas over the Raiders. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
I'm home.
Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's...
Cowboys Pepsi Postgame Show. Pepsi, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Brought to you by
AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. WinStar World Casino and Resort. Proud to be the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Please game responsibly. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys.
2nd and 10 at the Dallas 47. Smith in the black and silver. In the gun, back to throw. Pressured now. Say goodnight, Gino. Quinnen Williams. Enjoy your first Dallas sack. Back at the Raider 44.
What a debut for Quinnen Williams. Cowboys 33, Raiders 16. Zach Wolchuk alongside the Super Bowl winning scout Bryan Broaddus. Quinnen Williams in his Cowboys debut, 1.5 sacks, not including players who played for Dallas in the 1987 strike season, Brian. But Quinnen Williams is the 4th Cowboy since 1982 with at least 1.5 sacks in his first game with Dallas. The others were Eric Kendricks, Greg Hardy, and one of your guys, Leroy Glover.
Leroy Glover.
Hell of a debut for Quinnen Williams, and that has me excited. We saw a little bit of that 5-man front. I think it made Kenny Clark much better. Osa Digizua got that sack towards the end. Heck, he almost had back-to-back ones. But the entire defensive line, you could see Ezeraku, Clowney, they were getting after it, and a lot of that has to do with the big man in the middle, Quinnen Williams. And the Raiders abandoned the run before this game even started. I mean, heck, before it was out of hand, it was just 2 carries for Ashton Genty. So you talk about stopping the run. Well, were you tested? No, but that might have been the respect level that Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly had for Quinnen Williams, and I am excited to see what they can do moving forward. DeMarvion Overshown another game under his belt. Logan Wilson, solid in his Cowboys debut as well. He had a couple of tackles in this one, and then he also had the coverage on that first 3.5, the third down stop where he's drifting back that I don't know that Kenneth Murray necessarily makes that play. Kenneth Murray tonight also had a couple of tackles, but Quinnen Williams, sensational in his debut, and I love seeing Donovan Ezeraku continue to improve. He also had, of course, that safety on Ashton Genty as well. 877-881-1053, 877-881-1053 on the official postgame show of your Dallas Cowboys, brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Let's hit the phones. And we'll start off in Murphy. We've got Zaid. I hope I'm saying this name correctly. How are you doing? You're on the official postgame show of the Cowboys.
Hey, Wolchuk. Just wanted to say real quick to you, go Mean Green. We're finally ranked.
Let's go.
But to the Cowboys, I thought it was a great win. I got to hear the tail end of Broaddus' rant before the break. I mean, you're so right.
Wasn't a rant. I was just being honest. Wasn't a rant. Wasn't a rant. It was just, I'm sick of the BS fan base sometimes, you know?
Yes, sir. I totally agree.
You don't have to call me sir, but I mean, yeah, I'm just sick of the crap that, like, we all knew that the Raiders weren't good, okay? You know, we all get it. But, you know, the fact you got to play these games, I think, is what we saw tonight. They got a lot of guys involved. Offense looked good. Defense did their job. You get a win, move on. It doesn't matter who it is. Just move on, all right? Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no problem. No, you're absolutely right. I think that, like, this is the first game I got to watch that the opposing team's quarterback didn't get 10 minutes in the pocket.
Damn right he didn't.
Different.
Yeah.
And that's my case. So we have a tough gauntlet coming up, and I hope that we take this momentum and we push it forward because we're close to 500 and we can make that push. Like, we need to be positive.
Yeah, you're going to be positive, but you threw away too many damn games. Okay?
You're right.
You lost. I mean,
right.
If you're sitting there like wanting hopium for me right now, go out and beat Philadelphia. Go out and beat Kansas City. You know, you got to win these damn games. You know, but you had to start somewhere. But start tonight. But you think I think you're in the playoffs? No, I don't. I really don't. Because, like, you know, but to me, this is just, like I say, all this should have been taken care of early in the season, and they couldn't get it done the right way, and they had to go out and make a bunch of changes. So, yeah, do I think you're a playoff team? Kind of played like one tonight, but, man, you threw away too many damn games for me to get really excited right now.
Absolutely correct. I mean, I'll end it on, it's a lot more fun rooting for wins than it is for a higher draft pick. But thank you guys for taking my call.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much, Go Mean Green, man. Really good call there. All right, let's go out to San Antonio. We got Justin. Justin, what's up? Justin. All right, let's go to our friend Laura. Laura calling in from enemy territory in Philly. Laura, what's going on?
Hey, guys. How we doing?
Great.
Laura.
We got Spicy Brian tonight. I like it.
You guys are full of crap sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear it, man.
You know, I mean, you guys don't know.
I hear it all the time.
You guys don't know.
It's hard to win in the NFL, and I'll take this one, and I'll be happy about it.
You got to put a bunch of them together because you just weren't very good to start this thing. Go ahead. What do you got? I'm sorry to interrupt you, man.
You're not wrong. No. Hey, so listen, I would like to hear your thoughts on Tyler Guyton tonight. Aside from his Academy Award-winning performance drawing that penalty, seemed like he was a little spotty at the beginning and then kind of settled in a little bit towards the end. But was that just better blocking schemes, or how do you think he did, Brian?
I think he's that guy. I think he's that guy that's going to look like crap for about 2 or 3 plays. You got to grade him on 55, 60 plays. He's going to have 4 plays where he looks like me out there blocking, and it ain't very good. So that's kind of where with Guyton is. There's the feet are going to be bad. The hands are going to be bad. Yeah. He's going to get off balance. He's going to get knocked around some. I think how many games has he played now so far this year? 10? 11? Has he played all the games?
He's played all the games.
Okay, so you figure he's played about 18 games as a left tackle, or actually as a tackle, because he's only played 8 games, right? And then, last year, how many games he have?
Yeah.
He didn't.
They were starting a Doga over him. I got to go back and look how many he actually started last year.
Every week is a new experience for him. So, yeah, I think to me, I think your right tackle's more of a problem than your left tackle, but that's just me.
Yeah, you've been on steel for a while, though.
I mean, you know what? I have been, and I've been unfair to the guy. I've been unfair, but you know what? The fact that they came out and said, wow, there's a competition at right tackle, I don't know. Feel a little vindicated from that one.
Yeah. Thank you for the call.
Guys, have a great night.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Be well. Appreciate your call.
So it's 19 games started. Total.
Okay, there we go.
Guyton.
There we go.
19.
19 games started.
And he started more at left tackle than he has at right. I think that's also a narrative that's a little bit overblown, like should be moving back to right. He started 1 year at right tackle at OU.
8 games over there, right tackle in Oklahoma. Just keep you've got it working now where you got him at least
growing.
Comfortable over there. Yeah, keep him over there.
All right, 877-881-1053. That opens up another line. Let's head out to California. We got Randy calling in. Randy, what's up?
Oh, hey, I didn't hear you guys talking. My question. I got a question. My first concern is Brian, I know you guys will watch the film tape. I was watching mostly this whole game was just overshown because I wanted to see how he was moving. And it was just there were some instances where I was kind of grimacing, it reminded me of Jalen Smith moving. So I don't know. Maybe if you look at it, I don't know. Maybe
I don't think his knee brace was comfortable. I think he was having a problem with his knee brace in this game. I'm interested to talk to some folks. We got a sideline report that they tried to adjust it, and it's probably new for him playing with it. And he's probably not got, he's got practice time, but not full tilt practice time in it. So to me, maybe he's got a pinching situation, or it's just not enough flexibility in it for him to feel comfortable. I think that's the bigger issue. I'll look at it at tape in the morning here in a few hours and then see what I see. But I'm thinking it's probably a knee brace issue.
Yeah, I thought he moved. I thought he was moving around pretty well, Randy. Especially there was one play that he had to go sideline to sideline, chase down the flat, and he was able to do that. So I think probably the brace would make a lot of sense there.
Yeah, something new.
Okay, well, I hope so. And my next question, I don't really see. I don't know. It's almost impossible for this team to get into the playoffs. So and I know they have the 2 first-round picks next year.
Mm-hmm.
If you were looking at a situation, would you in this draft, if you have 2 similar players? One has a higher ceiling or better upside.
Give me the play. Give me the position.
Defensive end. I'll give you the players.
Give me the players then. Go ahead. I've looked at enough of them. Go ahead.
So right now, David Bailey from Texas Tech, and then Kendrick Folk from Auburn.
Okay, I can't stand Polk. He's bothering me right now. Falk. I got him. I got him in the second round. I can't.
I'd go with David Bailey.
I'd go with Bailey.
I think he gets it as a pass rusher. I am worried about him as an all-around edge, being able to stop the run, but he's got a rare knack to get after the quarterback.
The kid at A&M's pretty damn good too.
Cassius Howell.
Yeah, you need to watch him. But like I said, I Falk bothers me, and he's 6'6", he's 285. I don't see a quick twitch guy there. I just don't. I see more of a kind of an old school base end. But man, I mean, he reminded me a little bit of some of those A&M kids that I was doing last year. Where
Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, where I just didn't get the feel in it. But watching Falk play, I don't. I'm taking the other kid all day.
All right, that opens up some lines. 877-881-1053, the number to call, the number to text. Of course, brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. We'll hear from Brad Shim. We'll get back to your calls and texts. We've, of course, got our players of the game, our drive of the game. Cowboys get the win, 33-16. Zach Wolchuk alongside the Super Bowl winning scout, Bryan Broaddus. Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
Cowboys fans, here's the game plan. Touchdown Tuesday at Take 5 Oil Change. Just wear your Cowboys gear and save 25% on your oil change. No huddle, no overtime. Just drive in, stay in your car, and roll out. You'll be tailgate ready in 10 minutes flat. Keeping up with your car shouldn't be a tough call. Take 5 makes it as easy as calling the coin toss. Take 5 is...
Yes. Donovan Ezeraku, rookie-on-rookie crime right there with the safety of Ashton Genty as the defense definitely taking a step in the right direction no matter whom the opposition was. 33-16. Cowboys beating the Raiders on the road, 4-5-1 now on the season. The official postgame show of your Dallas Cowboys. Zach Wolchuk alongside the Super Bowl winning scout Bryan Broaddus. It's brought to you by Blockchain. Are you ready to learn a new game and invest like the pros? Don't worry, even the pros were rookies at crypto once. Blockchain.com makes buying, selling, and trading crypto easy. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. Let's head back out to Sin City, the legendary voice of your Dallas Cowboys, the great Brad Sham, who is on that call, joining us now. And Brad, since we played a defensive highlight, what were your thoughts on the way this defense played tonight with some new faces and some returners off injury?
Yeah, I think, Zach, they played really well, and the personnel was flying. We talked during my spotter, Jake Goldberg, wasn't sure if he was helping with a hockey game. The way players were flying in and out, and that's good. I think that was the right way to approach it. So, obviously Quentin Williams was tremendous. I think just about everybody who played up front played well. They did a good job, I thought, of not overexposing Overshone, and Hooker played very well. Rebel was the other one I was thinking of. Didn't overexpose him, showed a little stuff. You want to ease them in. Same thing with Logan Wilson, who, they're going to have to figure out by looking at the tape how they're going to handle that, because you're not going to handle it the same way they did tonight between him and Murray. But I'll tell you, the one guy who really impressed, besides Williams was tremendous, and Ezeraku keeps doing stuff. Kalen Carson.
Yep.
Where did that come from, Brian?
Oh, I told you he's going to be my breakout player. We did this in the pregame show. You and I, we all talked about this, and to me, I was so positive about how he played against Arizona, and it was kind of a very quiet game for him because they didn't attack him. But you watched him cover, you watched him play zone, you watched him pedal, you watched him break. And in this game, he plays 49 cover snaps. He got 4 targets at him. They got him for 55. He had 2 passes knocked down, 1 tight window target, and he was targeted like 12% of the time. Wow.
If he had 2 passes knocked down tonight, they went through the first 7 games, and they didn't have a cornerback knock down 2 passes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you look at him and Bland, the way they had 4 passes defensed between them tonight.
Yeah.
So that's a much better effort. The thing with Carson is the last time we saw him, he lacked confidence. He was beaten up. He was hurt. He was confused. There's all these things that a rookie would go through, and to his credit, he got healthy. And when he went out there and I saw him play against Arizona, I sat there and watched him one morning every single snap that he played. And I said, that looks like a different football player out there. So it wasn't surprising to me they started him. I've seen the Elam act before. Yeah. I've seen the other acts that they've had. So I'm happy for him. Yeah, the 4 for 55. I think one of them was a catch.
I think one of them was the first play to Bowers.
It was a big Bowers catch that got him. Other than that, I think he was in pretty good shape in this game.
Bland played better tonight.
Yes, he sure did.
Covering. Yeah. So, if those 2 guys are going to play like that, then that's a little different. Now you got a couple of guys who can spot him, but now if Rebel does well, you can figure out where to play him, and that's a little better. And Hooker, no one's confusing Hooker with Darren Woodson or Ronnie Lott, but I thought Hooker helped them tonight.
Yeah,
and so that's. This is tough stuff they've got the next 3 or 4 games. But if they can play like that on the back end, helped by the improved rush, then now you've got a chance to be in a game.
Yeah, Logan Wilson, they had him for 27 cover snaps in this game. Just to kind of give you, I think he was on the field for 8 run plays, so probably around 35 snaps there is what he was. But what's happened is we saw Shamar James played a lot less snaps tonight.
That's right.
And then, right.
But how many snaps did Wilson and Murray play together?
I don't have that. I just have they have them individually broken down.
Right. So I think there were some.
Yeah. Well, if you go coverage snaps, Logan Wilson was on the field for 27. Murray was on the field for 21. Is what they were.
Yeah, but those become coverage snaps because they threw. You don't know that when they send them out there. You don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah,
so
and Ravel
you can get a little carried away with those stats.
Yeah, Ravel was out there for 16 of them too. So that was good to see him get going.
And that was about what they wanted from him. So, you'll want to ramp it up a little bit every week, but this gives them a little confidence. Offense kind of got back to doing what they were doing a little bit earlier, and they got to find a way to keep Malik Davis on the roster. I think he's a good one to spell Williams a little bit, and that means someone's going to have to go. If he's going to come back, someone's going to have to go if they bring Perry on Winfrey back next week, and I'm still in favor of that. But it's better. It's better. Now, if you're playing defense like that, you got a chance to be in a game.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Brad, I was just kind of going through, just thinking about how they dealt with Bowers, and actually the best the two tight ends, they had Carson on for 10 snaps for coverage snaps, Bland for 13, Wilson for 13, Hooker for 9, Logan Wilson for 6 were the tight end matchups that they had in this game. So they they threw corners at these guys is what they did.
Predominantly they used corners, which you can do when the wide receivers are not great threats. Now, next week that won't necessarily be the case.
Exactly.
Offensively, Dak, 4 touchdowns, all the different receivers, but George Pickens was like a man possessed out there tonight. Brad, what did you think of the offense?
Well, he should have been possessed because whatever possessed him and Lamb to do whatever it was they did, to not start the game is kind of inexcusable, especially under the circumstances they were playing under tonight. But he then he showed you why he is a valuable piece. And I don't, see, one of the things, Zach, that I'm best at in the world is spending someone else's money. But, and I'm a little too good at spending my own, but I'm really good at spending yours. And if you can't look out there and see what the combination of Lamb and Pickens gives you and realize that you need to have both of them out there and figure that out going forward, then I don't know what you're looking at, because he's been that way pretty much all year, and certainly especially when Lamb was out and after he came back. And Pickens was he was serious tonight, and he can do that. We've seen him do it all year.
You mentioned the circumstances, and having now been and you're traveling with the team, having to talk with Coach Schottenheimer. But what do you think about the job the staff did to get these guys ready to play after the challenges they've been going through?
I don't know how you could have done it better. As Schotty himself said on Wednesday, there's no playbook for this.
Yeah.
Well, now there is, and he wrote it. And but he would be the first to tell you, and I think it's not just lip service. He had every bit of support he needed from ownership and management to do whatever he needed to do to help these guys through the most horrific week, hopefully as football players, they will ever collectively experience. And I think they did it. I think they did it about as well as you could do it. I don't know how the staff could have handled it any better, including giving the players enough leeway to make some of the decisions themselves. And I think if you just take the football out of it and you think about things that have happened in your own life and people that you've known who are close to you, and what have they done when disaster struck? What have they done when something really, really awful happens, and how do you react, and how do you interact with and help the people around you? And I think they passed those tests with flying colors. And now they're still, as he said, they're not, they won't move on, but they'll move forward, and this will be with them now. Grief doesn't stop just because you win a football game, and it will flare up again when you don't expect it to. That will be an ongoing process, but because of exactly what you asked, Zach, the the way the entire staff, not just the coaching staff, but all the administration and all the experts they brought in, and the things that they did, I just don't know how you could have done it any better.
Yeah, I just don't know, Brad. I just go back and think about the tragedies this team has just in the last several years. If you think about with the Jerry Brown, Marcus Paul, the strength coach, passing away while that was going on. This team, this team has had to deal with, the ownership and the front office, the coaches who were here, the players that were here. I mean, it's just you're right. There's just no playbook for this. It's
not for this, and there have been tough things like in '94 was it when Eric Williams had his car wreck?
Yeah,
and that was hard.
Yeah,
that was hard because you lost one of the best offensive linemen in the league, and it changed the whole personality of your line. And still, the one thing that I remember about that, and it happened to Eric on a ride home from the airport after a road game, but the thing that I remember was the way that it hit those players and coaches on a personal level.
Yep.
Not just they've lost a great player. How is my teammate going to survive? How's he going to be?
Yeah.
How's he going to do after this? So they've had these things before, and a lot of teams have things similar, but I don't know when a team has had to do what these guys had to do under this particular circumstance. And, they do have a history of having to deal with some things like this, but I don't know how many things like this there are. So I think the most important tests, which are not the football tests, I think they've passed with flying colors.
Thank you, as always, for the time, Brad. We'll catch up with you at AT&T next week.
All right, sleep fast.
Yeah, we will. Thank you so much. There he is, Brad Sham, the voice of your Dallas Cowboys. 33-16 Cowboys get the win over the Raiders.
George Pickens with 144 yards. 77 came on yak.
Wow.
So, he was average yak for him in this game was 8.6.
That patent catch, spin around the other way.
He's hard.
I mean, he had that one along the sidelines breaking tackles.
Running through people, I mean, he's an impressive player. We saw this player at Georgia. I know I did, so good for him, and whatever entails in the future for him, because he is a hell of a football player.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the Dallas Cowboys radio network.
Your turn it on, leave it on. Home of America's team is 105.3 The Fan.
Go baby.
KRLD-FM and HD1, Dallas-Fort Worth.
An Odyssey sports station.
Zach Wolchuk alongside the Super Bowl winning scout Bryan Broaddus, the official postgame show of your Dallas Cowboys. 877-881-1053. The number to call, the number to text, 877-881-1053. We will hear from Brian Schottenheimer in regards to CD and George Pickens not starting the game. He said there were a couple things missed that led to CD and George Pickens not playing on the first series. Nothing beyond that.
Do you think the fact that they were in Las Vegas,
maybe they went out?
They got caught out, after curfew.
I think that could absolutely be the case.
Terrence Steele played 70% of the snaps one-on-one in this game. Tyler Guyton was at 79% one-on-one in this game. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
I think they played pretty well.
Yep.
I think they held up pretty well on that outside.
Steele gave up no quick pressures, 2 quarterback pressures overall, no sacks. I'd say that's pretty darn good. Wow. Tyler Guyton had 1 pressure, no quick pressures, no sacks. I mean, for them, I don't think they had a sack in this game.
No, they did not. They just had the forced fumble.
Yep.
No, they had 1, which that might have been on the same play. So 1 sack is what they were credited for.
I'm looking to see who gave up the 1 sack. It's not. They must. I don't know if they gave up a pressure. But anyway, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get it. I'll look at this during the break here and see who ended up getting credit for that sack from the Raiders. Back to your calls and texts. We'll also hear from Coach Schottenheimer, Dak Prescott, and more. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
You hear that?
Pepsi. Whether tailgating at the stadium or grilling at home, on game day, Cowboys fans deserve Pepsi. Ford, your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. And by DallasCowboys.com. Keep track of the boys with daily podcasts and up-to-the-minute blogging at DallasCowboys.com and on the official Dallas Cowboys app.
1st and 10 at the 37. Back with play action. Prescott down the middle, Lamb outside the numeral at the 20, and he carries the ball down into the red zone to about the 15-yard line. That's a deep cross, a deep over, and Prescott just put it on him. Jamin Davis tackled him after a 23-yard gain.
33-16, Cowboys get the Monday Night Football win in Las Vegas over the Raiders. They improved to 4-5-1 now on the year, and CeeDee Lamb 5 for 66, including a touchdown on 7 targets. That was one of Dak Prescott's 4 touchdown passes, and Dak, man, he was really good. We've talked about this a lot when it comes to play action, and some of the numbers that we got here from ESPN Insights. But Dak Prescott tonight, when it comes to just play action alone, 3 such touchdowns. He has 11 play action touchdowns this season. That's second most in the league behind Matthew Stafford, who's got 13. But 3 of his 4 touchdowns came on play action tonight. And it also helps, of course, when you get the running game going with Javonte Williams. But that has been bread and butter for Dak and Brian Schottenheimer this year, being able to have success off those play action throws, Brian.
Yeah, no, Dak has been outstanding when it comes to, and there was a time where Dak wasn't very good at like play fake, turn his back to the defense, and try and find everybody. You know, that just shows you with some maturity, some study, which I'm not saying he doesn't study, but he's done a much better job of leading receivers and knowing where everybody is on the field. And you could tell that's the way it's gone in his play. Hey, let me do something for you real quick. You know that we talked about the Raiders' offensive line, and this is how treacherous it was for them tonight. They had 49 pass block attempts. Stone Forsythe had 6 quarterback pressures, 1 sack. Jordan Meredith, he had 6 pressures, half a sack. Dylan Parham, he had 6 pressures, 1 sack. DJ Glaze, 5 pressures, no sacks. Will Putnam, the center, he had 8 pressures, 2.5 sacks is what he had. So it was a nightmare for these guys to just talk about quick pressures. Meredith had 3, Putnam had 3, DJ Glaze had 2. They were. You took advantage of a team that just is very, very poor in that area.
Yeah,
and good for the Cowboys because there's been times where they haven't. There have been games where all of a sudden 5 guys from Home Depot at the New York Giants block you, in a game and go off.
Sure.
And they got after it tonight. Good for them for doing that.
And Quinnen Williams, a big reason. 5 pressures in the first half alone, which was tied for the most in any half by a Cowboy D tackle since at least 2018. Him and Osa combining for 11 pressures on the night. Kenny Clark with a half sack, 1 tackle for loss, a quarterback hit. You had 3 quarterback hits for Osa, a tackle for loss, a sack. I mean, up and down the line, it was really, really a hell of a performance by the Cowboys. James Houston with the sack as well, and they're going to need that against some of the teams that they have coming up. It's going to start with the Eagles, then you got Mahomes and the Chiefs. We saw last night, if you can get pressure on Jared Goff, all of a sudden that offense looks very, very beatable as well when you go on the road to the Lions. They have not allowed themselves any margin for error, so only a 7% chance to even make the playoffs right now, according to NFL.com. So it's going to be tough sledding, but if the Cowboys have any dreams of playing into January, and I get it. Maybe some fans out there are like, yeah, that's why we're even talking about it. But hey, they're talking about it inside the walls there at the Star. They're not throwing in the towel.
They have to, but they've played some awful football.
Yeah, they put themselves in this position. 100% they did.
Put themselves in a terrible position to have to dig themselves out. Go find a way to beat Philly in a short week. Go find a way to beat Kansas City. And then we can start talking about this thing getting back on track. But they needed to have a win tonight. But they need to put, like those teams in the past that put 4, 5, 6 games in a row together. You got to get on one of those kind of runs to make up for the games that you spit away earlier in the year.
Yeah. You just cheered for America's team on the field. Now see them on the reels. Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, now at a casino near you. Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. And do you have a gambling problem? Please contact 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over. Zach Wolchuk alongside the Super Bowl winning scout Bryan Broaddus. We hear now from Brian Schottenheimer, your head coach.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Brian, just your thoughts on the last 12 days and obviously with the game, but obviously you're never going to forget about Marshall.
Yeah, you had to start with that, huh? So proud of these guys, Calvin. I mean, the way that they grieved, cried, laughed, but they wanted to honor him, and we're not done honoring him. He's a part of our family forever, but it's been tough, man. I mean, these past 11 days have been really tough, and but I'm proud of those guys because just the way they played with Marshawn's play style.
Did it jump to you a little bit? Because I know you're always very intense. It looked like you were way more intense than normal when you got off the bus. I know a lot was going on in your mind. Did you ever get a chance to just relax for a little bit tonight?
I'll relax on the way home a little bit. You know, when you're uber competitive, which I am, and you want something for your players so much, you know, I wanted us to be able to find a way to get this game because it was the next game and because it was after coming off a bye and, you know, losing a brother and a family member. And again, I think it's galvanized us forever. I mean, we'll always be tight, but this has really brought us together, brothers for life.
Clarence, so the LLS Cowboys, how do you balance the emotions of the week and having to play for Marshawn and then having to discipline two best offensive weapons to start the game?
Yeah, again, it's tough, you know. Made a coach's decision. There were some things that were missed, and so I had a conversation with those guys, and that was easy. But, I mean, you look at the energy those guys play with. You know, Clarence, they jump-started the offense when they got back in there. They didn't hang their heads. They didn't do any of that stuff, and that's why I love those guys, man. Again, this was a great team win.
Just a couple of things. You missed practice, meetings, curfew.
Couple things missed. Yeah.
After the CD touchdown, I saw you go and hug both of those guys who was on TV. Just talk about the emotion there. You have a discipline, and then they jumpstart things, and then you go over and get both of them big hug.
Yeah, I told them I love them, man. You know, it's what we do. You know, I mean, the role of me as a leader for this football team is to have relationships. I've talked to you guys about that for a long time. Like, I'm going to be able to have hard conversations with those guys or any of our players, and but I also want them to know that, you know, when there's decisions that are made, I love them and I appreciate them. I appreciate the way they play. I mean, literally, they jump-started us in the latter part of that second drive and beyond, and that's what great players do.
Todd Archer with ESPN. What was it like in the locker room before the game?
Business-like, you know, it really was. You know, I didn't notice much different. You know, the energy was good, Todd. The music was playing. The guys were very focused. I'm going to say it again. I think, you know, playing the game and coaching the game, the distraction is real. You know, you're allowed to go out there and play a game that's violent and hit people and things like that. And I think these guys were ready to go do that. And not just to honor Marshawn, but because they love playing together. They love playing the game with one another. And that's why this is such a special group of young men.
Very much so. As Brian Schottenheimer addressing the media afterwards, not a ton of details, but when asked about the curfew situation.
Probably so in Vegas.
Yeah.
Probably so. Got caught out, had some stuff going on. Maybe they had some Raider friends that they hooked up with.
That's what happens when you go to Vegas, right? You got to worry about that.
Every once in a while,
Let loose.
Yeah.
Night game.
Guys got a lot of money. They're able to kind of get rides, get around. They just didn't make it back in time, it sounds like, Probably had they might have stayed out all damn night for all we know. Missed a couple of things. If they might have missed like curfew. They might have missed breakfast the next day. I mean, he said a couple of things. So I just assume, you shouldn't assume anything. But, with that kind of a trip, really easy to stay out all night in that town.
Could be a safe assumption. I
mean, you never know.
It's allegedly. I do have somebody that I trust.
CD might have got hot at the table. They couldn't walk away.
No, you
man.
can't. You get hot.
You got to stay there.
I don't know. I don't know about that one either. I don't know if they can do that. I don't. With all these the stuff that goes on. With
no. I mean, but
sports.
They've already they got suspended for the first series of the game. That's very college football coach like. I approve of that.
I know a lot
of
fans were like upset about this.
Oh, I was mad because I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, but in a way,
like 3rd and 4, you're like, what the hell? Get him on the field.
If you're Coach Schottenheimer and you're trying to build a standard and set the tone and the culture, nobody's above the rules.
Is that really setting the tone?
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give a cop out. If they lose the game, then I got a big problem with it.
Okay.
The fact that they went on and just
I think that's why
cruised, it was okay.
Shoddy was trying to make it sound like, man, they jump-started the offense. Well, damn, it would have been nice to have them out there.
You know what? I'm not. I'm going to stick with I like this because I think that we've had coaches in the past. We question the discipline. We worry about we complain about the penalties and all this stuff. You're getting coddled. Yeah, you got rules. We got team rules.
We get targeting. We're out for the half. I mean, you light somebody up.
You know what? The standard's the standard. All right, nobody's above the standard, guys.
You miss curfew, you get to sit out.
You're missing the first 3 plays, and we're going 3 and out because you're our 2 best darn players. And this, not only are you hurting yourself, you're hurting the team. Whose fault is that? That's on them.
Yeah. I bet you they had a damn good time, whatever they were doing.
Yeah, they're probably not regretting it after a 33-16 win.
Not one bit.
No, not at all. Zach Wolchuk alongside
probably having a drink right now on the plane.
Bryan Broaddus, I bet they are. I'm sure that they're having a victorious drink. I saw somewhere that if you win, certain players get to sit in first class even. They do a little switcheroo with some of the coaches.
Oh, wow.
Have you heard about this?
I have not.
We might need to ask Ferguson when we have him on Thursday.
I know one thing. I was always like in seat 18 C. I was always on the row side of things.
Okay.
Or the aisle side.
You prefer the aisle?
Well,
you're an aisle guy.
I hated to fly,
anyway.
but yeah, me and Derek Eagleton would sit next to each other. Is what we would do.
Well, hopefully safe travels home. We'll get back to your calls and texts. I know a lot of you have been waiting very patiently. I appreciate you. 877-881-1053. We'll also hear from Dak Prescott. But straight to your calls and texts. Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
From retirement planning to insurance, SWBC has customized solutions to help individuals and businesses. Visit swbc.com to learn more.
Bell Nunley has been committed to serving their clients for over 4 decades. This Dallas-based full-service law firm offers an extensive array of legal services, including championship-level commercial litigation, mergers and acquisitions, real estate, intellectual property, and labor and employment practices. Whether it's the clients they serve, the cases they win, the people they hire, or the community they build, Bell Nunley is behind every great company. Go to bellnunley.com to learn more.
Huddle up your teammates and head to Port Aransas to run out the clock on Island Time. Come revel in the island life. Make the catch of a lifetime in the fishing capital of Texas. Dine at open-air eateries with island fare cooked to perfection. And have a beach day on Port A's 18 miles of uninterrupted coastline. For your next getaway, chart your course for a new family tradition. Plan your stay at visitportaransas.com.
The National Medal of Honor Museum is now open in Arlington, Texas, just a few blocks from AT&T Stadium.
And we're like, well, hey, need to start maybe him and Clowney, but it might be start Ezeraku and Oso Digizua as kind of a defensive end. Play him some maybe as that left end.
Yeah, and you can keep Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams
inside.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I love that. Zach Wolchuk alongside the Super Bowl winning scout Bryan Broaddus, official post-game show of your Dallas Cowboys. The all-new National Medal of Honor Museum in Arlington brings the stories of America's greatest heroes to life through virtual experience and exciting interactive technology. Plan your visit today at mohmuseum.org. Back to your calls and texts. We did get a text coming in. Brandon Laurie, who does a great job covering the Cowboys, actually wanted me to ask you this, and we got one from Kyle from Sarasota along the same lines. But are you starting to see, and maybe the snaps will reflect this, but a little bit of phasing out of Luke Schoonmaker? You got a lot more Brevin Spann-Ford, but tonight it seemed like Hunter Lipke actually involved in the offense for the first time this season.
Well, let's think about this then, because receiving, if we look at just the receiving snaps, Luke Schoonmaker was on the field for 7 routes. So they had how many total passes were there? I mean, that they had, but I could look that up real quick. But anyway, yeah, he was on the field. Luke Schoonmaker was on the field for 7 routes of all that they threw. Now let's look at the rushing side of things and see how many snaps he was on the field for. Some of the rushing snaps. Let's see. Well, that's just the rushing. It'd be blocking. Yeah, you got to kind of figure some things out.
Yeah. Take some time.
Let me figure this out.
3 for 36 tonight. Had that big 15-yarder.
Yeah. So he was on the field. He was on the field for 7 pass blocking snaps is what they had, so we need to get the run snaps is what we need to do. I'll have to pull that up.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll go ahead and take a call. Let's head back out to the phones. A lot of you waiting patiently, and we appreciate you here on the official postgame show of your Dallas Cowboys. Let's go to line 6. We got Mo in Fort Worth. Mo, what's going on?
Mo.
What up, Mo?
No Mo.
There we go. We finally got Mo here. Yeah. Peyton was a little late to the draw. Mo, we got you.
All right. What's going on?
Not much, man.
How you guys doing?
Excellent.
Well, I just want to point out 3 observations I've seen from the game. The first thing that I've seen was I've seen us feature George Pickens a lot. I thought that was a great jolt on offense. He's a real spark plug when it comes to just giving energy to the whole team. The second thing that I seen was us tackle a lot better, especially on the boundaries with the cornerbacks. They played a lot more physical with Carson and Bland, way more than Elam and Diggs. They just played a lot more physical and willing to tackle. And the third thing that I seen was the special teams really step up today, and it allowed us to play a lot more complementary football. You've seen Turpin set up the offense with a good return there, and you also seen the special team set up the safety play by getting that stop inside the 5. So those are the 3 things I've seen us play really good complementary football tonight. And I would hope that be one thing that we can take forward and just see that could continue happening. Just more complementary football. It might be the first time all season that we've seen actual complementary football from all 3 elements of the team.
Thank you for the call, Mo.
The Commanders game comes to mind for myself.
Agreed.
I felt like they kicked the Commanders' ass pretty good.
And Elijah Clark, the rookie safety who had been banged up, I thought he was outstanding on special teams tonight.
I don't think he played.
38?
I don't think he played. Did he play tonight?
He was out there every single coverage play for special teams, punt and kick coverage, and I thought he was awesome.
I have to look that up because for some reason I feel like he was
questionable coming in.
Was he questionable? But he played.
He was questionable.
Right.
Unless somebody else switched his jersey number and started wearing 38 tonight, and it wasn't him. But he stood out in a big way.
Okay, I'm going to look up tackles, but man, for some reason, why did I think he was not?
He was questionable, and he missed the previous game against Arizona. He got hurt in that Denver game.
Okay.
So he was banged up coming in.
I'll take your word for it because I don't. For some reason, I thought he was not playing.
Yeah, he didn't play on defense much at all, but on special teams, I thought he was doing pretty darn well as a gunner there.
You got him
in punt coverage. Let's go out to Chris in Wyoming. Chris, what up?
Chris.
Oh, line 7. Oh, yeah, we got. It's okay. Sorry about that, Peyton. I'll let you know next time we're going back to the phones here. We'll go to line 7, Chris.
Chris, go. Yeah. What do you got, man?
Hey, I love the win tonight. I hope we're getting hot at the right time, and we're going to string up some wins now. The George Pickens run after the catch, that was complete beast mode. My wife thought I was going to break a hip jumping out of the chair after that. I have a question. Being the biggest Longhorns fan in the state of Wyoming, educate me, what is going on with Jaden Blue? I was so excited when he was drafted. And I see him standing on the sideline, and I'm like, healthy scratch? What is the deal?
Yeah, I don't think Jaden Blue's picking up from what's going to the classroom to the practice field to the game. I just don't feel like that, and I haven't had anybody tell me that, but and it's probably something that's learning curve that's going on. Maybe they don't trust him with some of the blitz pickup stuff. Maybe they don't trust him knowing the plays. That would just be my educated guess right now. I know that people talked about him. I know Glenn Smith threw out there at the beginning of the season that he was lazy and he didn't care and all that. Maybe that was more out of college. I didn't get that vibe, but I think there's some things that he's just not picking up that's keeping him from being active. By the way, Elijah Clark did play. You're absolutely right. He played a snap on defense.
On defense, thank goodness. I was getting a little bit worried.
No, I didn't see him. Really I thought he was banged up, but yeah, I think that's the thing with Jaden Blue. I just don't think he's picking it up cleanly enough from the classroom.
If they can't trust you, they're not going to play.
They're not going to play him. They would rather
fumble.
They would rather go with a guy that they, with Malik Davis, that they feel like that probably knows the plays, knows where he needs to be, and plays special teams at a high level.
All right. Let's go to line 8 here. We got Captain Cowboy. Captain Cowboy in Philly. Enemy territory, Captain Cowboy. What up?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How you doing, Brian? Is that
good?
Hey, that's a great win. I don't care what nobody says. That's a great win, and I want us to keep rolling along. It would give me the greatest pleasure to win this next game, listen to all the crap I got to listen to here. I'm telling you. And another thing, I'm liking how they're starting to phase Tolbert out because he's giving us nothing, really. I'm liking Flournoy playing. What do you think about that, Brian?
Yeah, I think they're not going to phase out Tolbert, though. I don't think they have. When you watch him play, he gets snaps. They bring him in there for some of the blocking stuff. But the guy that's getting phased out right now is the guy you traded a fourth round pick.
Yeah, Mingo can't get active.
Mingo can't get active. That's the guy that's getting phased out.
I do think Captain Cowboy's right, though. I have noticed, Flournoy has taken a lot of snaps that Tolbert was getting previously. He's more of the wide receiver 3 now.
Yeah, but they've yet to get Tolbert off the field. Mingo, they act like they want to know what Mingo's all about. They're not really interested in learning what Mingo's all about. That's going to be one of those, we'll look back, and then I think he's got another year in the contract. He's got a couple of years on his deal left, right?
Yeah, he does.
So, yeah, I think that we'll see. He's kind of become a break glass in case of emergency guy. And I don't think they're gonna play him anytime soon.
I do love Ryan Flournoy, though. I mean, I was singing those praises back in training camp that I thought that's why I was looking at Tolbert as a guy could you move and get some draft capital for based on the season that he had last year. Obviously, that did not happen, and it's nice to have him on the team, but just being the fact that he's a free agent after this year, I think Ryan Flournoy is going to step up, and he will be your wide receiver 3, and I'm excited about his potential in the future. We'll get to Dak Prescott here momentarily, but I do want to go to line 9. We've got Big Jim, who's been waiting patiently. Jim, what's going on, man? How's your Monday night going?
What's up, fellas? How's it going this evening?
Good. Boy, you're up late, sir.
Well, I'll ride with you fellas all night if I have to. My dog's already gone to sleep.
Yeah, I don't blame your dog. I wish I could be your dog.
Everybody else, and it's kind of weird. Something's going on at the new studio. Can't hear a thing while you're on hold. So
yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
Well, it's fun. I was watching you boys on the YouTube, and like that cap you got on there, Brian.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
I got crown. But listen, I want to say something. I think everybody's done talked about everything that could be sort of taken apart on this game. But man, I'm just really pleased with Carson and his play at cornerback. Yeah. I know when he come out, y'all talked a lot about him and what he did there at Wake Forest, and he's learned the ropes and he's figured out the system. I agree. He's breaking on the ball tonight. Great to see Overshawn out there as well. And I tell you what, fellas, it's almost midnight, so that means I'm gonna have to turn my attention to the Philadelphia Eagles. I watched that game last night, boys. For the other, damn. Let me tell you something. Those guys live in that Detroit backfield, and they got that cat from Philadelphia. I hope to God somebody's back at the Star right now breaking some business down, and they're gonna hit the ground running, because they're gonna bring it. They're playing some good defense, whereas they weren't playing some great defense against us at the beginning of the year. But listen, appreciate you fellas. I'll stay up the rest of the few minutes we got left, and appreciate you. And I'll listen to you on the Fan and on the Crown and every dadgum thing you show up on, Broaddus.
Thank you, sir. I really do appreciate Jim. You're one of the best. Thank you.
We love you, Big Jim.
Have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Now, Dak Prescott pretty darn good at home at AT&T Stadium against the Eagles. 6-1 in his career as a starter against the Eagles at home, and 9-4 overall in his career. So, look, you throw the records out.
Still picking the Eagles.
And I get it. You should. The Eagles, even when it looks like they're beatable, they just find ways to win.
Sure.
And they are better. They are a better football team than the Cowboys.
They are amazing the way that they get a fumble at the end of a game. They get a block field goal, block two damn
field. Get a pass interference call go their way.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Things do, and you're probably not going to get the luck of Jalen Carter getting kicked out of the football game.
Unless you can entice him to do something crazy.
Maybe Spitgate 2.0.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear from Dak Prescott. We'll get back to your calls and texts. 877-881-1053. That opens up a couple of lines. 877-881-1053. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service. Guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Ho, ho, ho! Straight from the North Pole, Santa is once again at the Star in Frisco. Santa Claus will be meeting fans and spreading holiday... Cowboys Pepsi postgame show continues. Pepsi, proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Pepsi. Whether tailgating at the stadium or grilling at home, on game day, Cowboys fans deserve Pepsi. Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. The islands of the Bahamas. It's not one island. It's a lifetime of them. And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Williams back at running back. Prescott is under center. Stamps his left foot. Receiver in motion to the left. Prescott play action. Left side of the end zone. Right on the money to Ryan Flanoy. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Oh, boy. That is our drive of the game. It was the Cowboys' first drive of the third quarter. Put them up 31-9 after the defense forced a 3-and-out for Vegas. On that drive, you had a 21-yard pass from Dak to Pickens, a 17-yarder from Dak to Pickens. There was also a 12-yard pass to Hunter Lipke on first down, just keeping moving the chains right down the field, resulting in Dak Prescott's fourth touchdown strike of the game, all to four different receivers. That one, Ryan Flanoy, the recipient, and a big one for him as he was best friends with Marshawn Nealon, certainly playing with a heavy heart. I know Christy highlighted that during the broadcast. That one meant a lot to him. Very, very special moment for Ryan Flanoy here. 33-16. Cowboys get the win. They improve now to 4-5-1. The Eagles await, coming off their Sunday Night Football win over the Lions as they sit atop the NFC at 8-2, and that will be a Sunday afternoon game at AT&T Stadium. Zach Wolchuk alongside the Super Bowl winning scout Bryan Broaddus. And just to let you know, you can celebrate the Cowboys Christmas extravaganza powered by Reliant at the Star in Frisco. That's going on now to December 20th. So join us every Friday and Saturday night for an electrifying holiday performance. For details, visit thestardistrict.com. Let's hear from Dak Prescott, who threw for those four touchdown passes today. Here was Dak postgame.
Same thing as before, just flag me down. I'll call on you. Let us know your name and platform, please. We'll start out with Calvin.
Calvin Watkins, just your thoughts on the last 12 days and how you guys were able to kind of try to get through this?
Yeah, but I mean, obviously a tough, hard 12 days. And, through the bye week, those first, as I mentioned to you on the earlier in the week, those first few days, right, not being with the guys was harder than anything. But the last 6, 7, being together, working together, having conversations, healing, shining a light on who Marshawn was, then obviously coming out here tonight and playing with the style that he played with, the intensity, the efforts, finish, and super proud of the guys. Whirlwind of a week, great one to cap off with a win right here, and but this doesn't put a cap on it. We're going to continue to move forward, shining light on Marshawn and carrying his legacy. And we need to play like this every week moving forward, and he'll always be with us.
How big was Lamb and Pickens tonight for you in terms of honoring Marshawn and his gift?
Yeah, huge. I mean, getting those guys the ball, watching them run after catch, being who they are. Two elite guys that complement each other, that build off of each other's energy. One go makes a play, the other one wants to make a play. Tonight was fun. Just as I've always said, right? I'm just trying to get the ball out of my hands to these guys, be like a point guard, and let them go do what they do best. And tonight was a good example of that.
Clarence Hill, DLLS Cowboys. Just talking about Pickens. So they were disciplined before the game. Kept penalty last time. Obviously had a great touchdown, but give another penalty. How do you balance all of that energy and on the edge with Pickens? I see you smiling.
He's a one-of-a-kind guy. Special individual, elite, has a great feel for the game, loves the game, plays the game like a kid. I mean, you when you watch him play, I'm sure, right, the energy, the celebrations, like that's contagious, and luckily we got a kicker who can make it. I know Shotty's probably not happy about it, but when you got a kicker that can bail you out, it's one thing, but the discipline, right, there is a part of that we've all got to tighten up, and GP knows that. Obviously, he responded to it, right, responded to the discipline by the way that he came out and the intensity he played with and the effort he had. But he's a special individual, and like you said, there is a balance to it, though.
Did he open things up for CD?
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I think they open up things for each other. You know what I mean? You get both of those guys and they're out wide. You know, what coverage are you going to play? And when you're single high, you got to lean one way or another. You got to pick a receiver to help. So that's why I say they're complementary to one another.
Dak talked with ESPN. What were the emotions coming into this game, and what were the emotions afterward in the locker room? Music's playing, Shotty's going through the post-game speech like you normally do.
Yeah, electric, honestly, especially afterwards. Before the game, it was business as normal, to be honest, and I give the guys a lot of credit for that. I give the coaches credit. I give the whole organization for the resources and discussing, these emotions and these feelings throughout the week before they've happened. That, guys, I feel like all had a plan. They stuck to their process of pregame, and it showed right in the execution during the game. And then after, it was a celebration. I said it's been a tough week, and to be able to celebrate and to smile for a moment and to know that you went out there and you, like Shotty said, made Marshawn proud and honored him the right way. But that's just 1 week, and we want to continue to do that.
Dak Prescott after a 33-16 win over the Raiders. And I mean, Dak always, he's always says the right thing. It's just the ultimate leader, and I know we'll criticize how he plays on the field, and that's our job, and rightly so. When you're playing quarterback, and especially for the Dallas Cowboys, it's probably the hardest spot to be in professional sports. But after a rough 2 series, Dak really settled in and was great again tonight. 25 of 33, 268, 4 touchdowns, and Brian Schottenheimer, and to have Dak and Solomon Thomas and others being able to rally around, and you're talking about DeMarvion Overshown and the emotions of him coming back and playing. And I do think, the way that the game ended up going, it allowed for Savone Revel maybe to play a little bit more than what was planned, even though I think they were kind of going to go listen to what Christie said. It would be game flow based anyway. But
yeah, I heard earlier in the week that they were trying to kind of get him involved in special teams and then kind of see how it went from that.
Yeah. And he definitely started at special teams. That third down, he came in for a play.
The third and long, he came in, and then it's like, okay, well, let's go. Let's throw him out there and do some things. You talk about Dak, and you look at his overall game, and if you want to break down numbers and stuff, the blitz, he averaged almost a little over 10 yards a completion or an attempt facing the blitz, 7.2 with no blitz. It just, last week against Arizona, we kept talking about the quick pressure, and they did not handle the quick pressure. The last couple of weeks they haven't handled that. You wonder why maybe some struggles with the offense. Mm-hmm. When Dak is able to, like tonight, where he's able to move around a little bit, buy some time, guys get open, he find them. That's when this offense is going to be good.
And they're mixing it up. The play action, the tempo, they got to the line quick a couple of times.
We talked about that on Wednesday, that some stuff, when you watch the Raiders, and the team that pointed this out to me the other day, watching tape, was the Commanders did this to the Raiders, and then the Broncos did it too, got up to the line, snapped the ball quick, and got running plays going that way. And so, I saw it happen. I'm like, okay, well, that's when Dak is thinking, like, let's go, let's get it up there, let's get going. I got an idea what we need to do. Him and Shotty were on the same page. The Raiders say they're not a great pass rushing team other than Max Crosby, but they handled Max Crosby in this game very, very well, and it opened up a lot of other things for them.
And really, I think a lot of it, George Pickens getting going, I think really was just the big comfort here. Because the first couple of those drives, you go 3 and out, and I get it, Lamb and Pickens not on the field, disciplinary, whatever it might be. Then you had the fumble. But it was as if, okay, is Dak holding the ball? Is he seeing it? And then certainly he just took off and ascended. They end up getting the field goal, then they go on the touchdown drive. He hits Pickens for 15 yards, then he has the 18-yard touchdown. Lamb's wide open, and then he was just in rhythm after that. But I think George Pickens deserving a lot of credit. I mean, the offense really kind of ran through him, and then after that everybody else ate, much like it seemed like Quinnen Williams opened up a lot on the defensive side. 2 big trade acquisitions for the Cowboys. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification across the Dallas Cowboys radio network.
Your turn it on, leave it on. Home of America's team is 105.3 The Fan.
Go low, baby.
KRLD-FM and HD1, Dallas-Fort Worth.
An Odyssey sports station.
Zach Wolchuk alongside the Super Bowl winning scout Bryan Broaddus, 33-16 Cowboys, beating the Raiders to improve to 4-5-1.
Yeah, George Pickens, if you look at him by the matchup in this game, Kai Blue Kelly, who's was one of the corners for the Raiders, was matched up against Pickens 10 times, 3 targets, 3 receptions, 59 yards, 1 touchdown. So that was brilliant against him. Eric Stokes matched up against him 7 times. Felt like he was the best corner that the Raiders had. He had 4 targets, 3 receptions, 44 yards. 2 of those were tight window targets that he was able to receive. 6 of those snaps were for against man coverage. So against their 2 top corners, he was targeted 7 times, had 6 catches, for the yards, and then the 1 touchdown that he had. So tip of the cap to him, the way he was able to attack Kelly, the way he was able to attack Stokes, that was a big part of them winning this football game.
Let's try sneak in one more call here, and then we'll get back to the phones on the other side, 877-881-1053. Let's go to line 1. Paul's been waiting for a while. Paul, how are you?
I am better than I deserve. Couple things. Brian, your rant earlier was epic. It was epic. The only thing that would make it better is if you said, somebody's a B or they're full of S.
Yeah, I can't do that, but yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, by the way, you said you bet. Are you okay, man? You're okay. I mean, I'm learning now to ask people if they're okay. You sounded like you're sad. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. But that was horrible. This is horrible.
What the season?
No, Marshawn Neiland.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got you now. Okay.
Yeah, no, it really is, and I'm glad to see it. I guess I have a couple of comments. Number one,
go ahead.
What do you guys do when Diggs comes off IR? Do you just is his season pretty much you just shelve him?
You play him. You play him.
Yeah, okay.
You play him. Right. I would. I just play him. I mean, to me, maybe all of a sudden, if things start to go, find a way. I think he's eligible to come back this week. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I play him because I feel like you're going to need him. I mean, maybe he sees what's going on. Maybe with the improved pass rush, maybe with the improved corners around him, that he could play a little better. Hell, I would even consider playing him at safety if it was me. If it was me. But I play him. Go ahead. You got some other comments you want to make real quick?
Would you see him possibly wanting to play safety? I mean, do you think he'd be open to that?
I'm as Mike McCarthy would say, I'm playing fantasy football right now.
I guess the thing is I don't know what you get. I would play him too because maybe you go from a third to a second round when they get rid of him next year because I don't see him sticking with him. That leads me to my next question.
Sure.
You mentioned earlier about CD and Pickens and how they sat for the first series. What type of player is going to excel under Schottenheimer? I mean, it's obvious that he has control of that football team because they haven't given up on him. Just like McCarthy, they didn't give up on him last year either. But is there, you were talking earlier about, some guys in the draft you're looking at. Do you really feel like, like a guy like Schottenheimer, I think it's a good sign because it tells me that he is not going to tolerate too much shenanigans. And the rest of the team, more importantly, the rest of the team understands that.
Team captains. I thought that was the big theme in this year's draft and how much Schotty had to do with that. If that was part of his influence, I do think he wants character guys. But players that love football, he's always talked about that. But they drafted a lot of guys that were captains on their team. Yeah. So leadership, those are, I don't know if there's a type of player specifically. I think that good football players are good football players. They're going to find a way to exceed under Brian Schottenheimer. But I do think that might be something that he looks for in the draft. And, people are going to get sick of me here talking about the name. I don't know that they're going to be in position to be able to draft said player, but I am all about the safety Caleb Downs from Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think he is a can't-miss player. From day one, he stepped into Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and was a leader and controlled that secondary. Then he goes on, wins a national championship on a defense that was littered with NFL talent.
Yeah.
And this year he's doing it again on a defense that's littered with NFL talent. I think he's the total package, and this is a team that I think needs massive improvement at safety. If Caleb Downs is available, and he's got the NFL pedigree in the bloodlines. Uncle Dre Bly, who won a Super Bowl with the Rams. His dad was a running back for the Broncos and Giants and others.
Yeah.
I love that player. I mean, I think much like Emeka Egbuka, I looked at him and thought some of that's managing risk. And I don't think he's a player that you're going to end up bust. That's going to be a miss for you in the first round.
Your guy Lemons like Egbuka.
Yeah.
The USC wide receiver?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
877-881-1053. That opens up a line as well. We've got one more hour. We're taking until 1 a.m. here on the official post-game show of the Dallas Cowboys. We'll hear from CeeDee Lamb. I think we've got Quinnen Williams as well. Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
Cowboys fans, here's the game plan. Touchdown Tuesday at Take 5 Oil Change. Just wear your Cowboys gear and save 25% on your oil change. No huddle, no overtime.
Third down, close to 4 on the right hash at the 37. Prescott with time. Slant, Pickens. First down, cuts left, running away. Got a block, made the 45, broke a tackle. 50, 45, 40, 38.
Absolute freak of nature. That's our What a Play of the Game, brought to you by Whataburger and the Salvation Army. Doing the most good as George Pickens just wouldn't be denied. Third down, move the chains. I mean, it seems like it's just third and Pickens. Every time you need a play, boom, third and Pickens, Dak. Go ahead and find GP3. But his ability after the catch, you gave the numbers, over 70 yards receiving with the yak. And in total,
half his yards were yak yards.
Unreal. And he led the team with 144. He had 100 at halftime, which would go along with the touchdown and the 9 catches on 11 targets. I mean, he was great. But that play specifically, that was a jaw dropper right there from George Pickens. Let's hear from his running mate, who also had a good game in CeeDee Lamb, finishing with 5 for 66, a touchdown on 7 targets. Here was CeeDee postgame.
Obviously, you guys have kind of been up and down as far as the season goes. Offense is doing well, defense maybe not. Defense does well as offense kind of needs to find its groove. But have a complete dominating win like this, what does it do for the emotion going forward?
Complimentary football, man. It's just, we proved that we can do it. We got to continue to do it. And I feel like the name of this game is consistency. Like, who can do it the most and who can do it at the same and play at a high level for the longer period of time, along with staying healthy. So I feel like we're doing a great job. We got a lot of people back, and man, we just getting this thing rolling.
You and George weren't in on the first drive of the game, but then both of you had great individual games. Kind of what went into that?
Man, just stepping up and playing how we play, man. Do what we do. We out there for a reason, and it was fun.
What was the reason for that play?
I'm not going in depth on that, honestly. I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not.
When you and Pickens are having the type of game you have, it's hard to get other guys some targets, but what can you say about Ryan Floyd taking advantage when he gets started?
Shout out Flo, man. I'm happy that he's able to get in the end zone again. I think the second one of the season for him. We got to just keep turning. We got to keep switching the personnel, getting different people in, but GP was balling today.
Just on the most basic level, what does it mean for this locker room 11 days later? Being a football game and do it for him.
I'm playing for him for the rest of the year. We just got to go out there and dominate. We got to go out there and put plays together. We got to find ways to win. We got to fight.
Normally, you guys try to turn the page after 24 hours, win or lose. You guys are coming on a short week now. You got the Eagles coming into Dallas. How quickly do you need to turn this page?
It's over now, and the game over. We on to Philly. I think we got meetings in the morning. We'll get our workout in, and page is already turned, brother.
After your touchdown, Brian Schottenheimer came up and gave you and George a hug on the sideline. What was that moment like, and what does that kind of mean to see, that kind of excitement after the start to the game, and then just that relationship?
It's always fun. It's always fun scoring touchdowns for one, and then it's even better when your head coach is a part of it. So shout out Shotty, man. He celebrates with us regardless, and he always got our back. So appreciate him for sure. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Getting ready for Philly already is CeeDee Lamb, who really torched the Eagles week 1. This Eagles defense has certainly added some pieces since then, and I'm sure he wants a little bit of revenge. Had a couple of big drops in that game week 1. Might have tilted that in a win instead of a loss for the Cowboys if he was able to make some of those plays. But didn't want to get into the why they didn't start. I think our speculation, probably accurate.
Curfew.
Probably accurate.
Probably a curfew situation, and missed a couple of things. I don't know. Maybe they're bluffing us on that. Probably missed curfew. We'll figure it out eventually here and get an idea what it was. But like I said, it was hell. If it if it takes missing curfew for those guys to play like that, hell, do it every week. Sit out the first series.
Like to play the Raiders every week too, wouldn't that?
No,
be nice?
the Raiders are.
The Raiders.
We talk about the Cowboys defense kind of being back in the day. I guess early in the season, Cowboys defense gets you right. Well, the Raiders get you right too.
877-881-1053, number to call, the number to text. Zach Wolchuk alongside the Super Bowl winning scout, Bryan Broaddus. Let's get a couple more of your calls in here. We'll go to line 2. We've got Adam, who's been waiting patiently. Adam, what's going on?
Adam,
you still there? All right, let's go to John in Dallas. John, you're on the official postgame show of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hello.
John, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
We got you, John. You're on.
You're on the radio, sir. Be famous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's go.
I'm sorry. I was sitting there listening to you, and I guess because of the latency that I'm a little bit behind. Hey, so I just wanted to make I really wanted to make a fan base comment, a couple of comments, maybe a tertiary one. The win tonight was a good win, but it was like Brian was saying. I think it was like 4 or 5, maybe 6 calls before Skip Bayless was on her. But you were talking about the loss. You were talking about the losses early in the season.
Yeah,
and it was like the Eagles and I'll try to keep it short-lived. But it was like the Eagles and Green Bay and stuff. Those should have been games that should have been won. Yeah, tonight was a good game. Tonight was a good win. But, as a fan base, those are that's gonna be kind of like directly proportional to what's going to happen the next 3 or 4 games with the Cowboys. And I think after tonight, the way they played, I think they should they should pull off some of those games that are going maybe upsets. But so on the fan side of it, it's like Dallas always seems to daggum falter, and with some of the new guys coming off, Chauhan, Revel, those guys coming off injured reserve and stuff like that, that looks good. Davis, for the little bit he played tonight, looked good too. And so I guess my quantifying question is how do you feel like the guys coming off injured reserve and the new signs are going to help maybe propel Dallas into I know we're all saying no.
They give you a chance. They give you a chance on defense. They give you a chance. That's the best thing. If you could get Dak playing at a high level like he has played for the majority of the season, not the games against Arizona, not the game against Denver, you find a way to protect him better. They did. You look across the board. They ran the football with effectiveness. The secondary had no answers for your receivers. Span forward but continues to block very, very well. If you could find cornerbacks that aren't afraid to play up tight, play off, drive on the ball, tackle in the flat, you get some linebackers that'll run to the ball, help them in the run game, cover when they have to, be smart, not be frozen positions, and allow people to get behind them or run past them. And you get they get a defensive line that if they have movement up front, that they're all moving in the same direction and filling gaps. And then when they have to pressure, they get after the quarterback's ass. That's what you need. That's what these new guys have done. They've given you a chance. They've given you a chance, a small chance. Hopefully you play better against Philadelphia. You need that win. Then you need to beat Kansas City. Then you need to find a way to go to Detroit and win a football game. You do that, now you're back into this thing. Now you're back in. But if you don't do those things, then, we'll be talking about the draft. Zach and I will be working on the draft. We've already started working on the draft, not because of the season, but because right now it's what we have to do to get ready for April. So, yeah, the new guys completely help the situation. They give you a little bit of, they give you some life, they give you a little bit of something different. It's, notice the guys who were playing early in the season that were causing some of the issues on defense were inactive tonight.
Yes.
Just look at the inactive list. That's all you have to know about where they think the new guys are going to fit in.
No doubt. And it'll allow players that maybe don't need as much playing time. Kyrie Elam didn't get that tonight. Sam Williams had his snaps taken down a little bit. Who knows what happens with Kenneth Murray? Does Logan Wilson end up kind of taking that role? Shamar James was the impact of that tonight, but it gives them more options and possibly more capable bodies as well. All right, let's go to Irv in Miami, line 4 here. Irv, what's going on? You're on the official postgame show of the Dallas Cowboys. Irv, you still with us?
Not at 1:17 in the morning.
Hey, I get it. All right, let's go to Euless, line 5. We've got Josh. Josh, you're on the official postgame show of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, yo, what up, Brian, Zach? Hope y'all are feeling good about this Dallas Cowboys team.
We're feeling good,
Josh.
no
matter who. Yes, sir. A win is a win no matter who it's against. Got a quick star up and 2 questions that maybe y'all know the answer to. Star up to Hunter Lipke. I mean, I felt like every time he touched the ball, good things were happening. What is the win ratio whenever Hunter gets 3 touches, whether that's through the air or through rushing? What's the win ratio on if you get him involved in the game, how the Cowboys play? I just feel like when that happens, Shoddy has a great recipe right there. Also, what did y'all think? Not much snaps, but what did y'all think of Siobhan Revelle overall through his 16 snaps? Cheers, y'all.
Man, I just, I'm in about 5 hours, I'm going to get that tape in the box, and I'll be able to watch him like I did Carson against Arizona and just focus on him. It looked like to me that when they asked him to play the zone, that he was okay. He drove on a ball, I think, that was thrown short. I just him moving around. That's the thing about it is him. He's wearing a brace just like Overshone is. So maybe his brace stuff was a little bit better than what Overshone's was, but it's going to take some getting used to. But you saw him make a tackle over on the sideline, coming up. And, I mean, that's the guy's 6'2". He's 200 pounds. He should be making tackles. He should be driving on the football. This kid was one of the best cornerbacks I scouted in the draft.
Yep.
He seriously, and if he didn't have a bad knee, Dallas would have never seen him, because he would have been playing somewhere else likely. Yeah. Or Dallas would have had to take him with the 12th pick.
Right.
This guy's a football player. So I'm looking forward to seeing the snaps he got to play. Just from the TV scouting of things, it was nice to see him out there moving around. That's about the best I can say right as we speak here at 12:20 in the morning.
And just a quick search, but in games where Hunter Lipke gets 3 or more touches, the Cowboys are 1-1.
There you go.
Tells you it doesn't really happen much.
Nope.
But maybe that will change moving forward. They did pay him, so maybe they'll use him a little bit more.
You're waiting for it.
Yep, they did it tonight, and it certainly worked. All right, we'll get more tape from the locker room. We got to hear from Quinnen Williams regarding our defensive stop of the game, and then we'll go ahead and rip through your final calls and texts. You're listening. Dallas Cowboys football. We'll continue in a moment.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment.
First down, Smith. Play action. He's got all day. Deep to the middle. The ball is tipped and intercepted at the 5-yard line. Here comes Marquise Bell down the left side. On the deflection up to the 35. Before he's run out of bounds, Kenneth Murray, dropping in coverage, got his hand on the football, and it floated right to Marquise Bell for the Cowboys' first takeaway of the game.
That was a big one. That is our defensive stop of the game, brought to you by WinStar, the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. WinStar delivers thrills worthy of America's team with over 10,000 of your favorite electronic games. The 2-story WinStar Spawn Cascades, their luxury pool complex. WinStar is a world of wow. Please game responsibly. As the Raiders down 17-6, they're driving to the Cowboy 31, and the interception, Geno trying to find Brock Bowers, tipped by Kenneth Murray, intercepted by Marquise Bell. He then returns it for 24 yards, and big-time play there as the Cowboys needed it, getting that interception. Pressure having some to do with it as well, but the good old tip drill, Murray finding Marquise Bell, Johnny on the spot as the Cowboys. That would be their only turnover that they got, but they were just creating havoc on Geno Smith all night long.
Yeah, breaking down the Raiders, and that's exactly what they needed to do. We saw some combinations, the various with the defensive ends and how they were able to work with some of the defensive tackles. I think Flus is trying to kind of dial some things in. It was a good opportunity tonight to kind of see some guys work with each other. They're going to need all hands on deck to play very well, against Philadelphia. And then the following, few days after that against Kansas City, it's not going to get any easier. But, it's had to start tonight. You had to find a way to get a win tonight and then, carry this thing into, Eagles week and hopefully, play well at home. You mentioned Dak Prescott's record against the Eagles at home is very impressive. And, offensively, if you get, you get the offensive line with their ability to block the way they did tonight, handle a very difficult rusher in Max Crosby. The way they ran the football was very impressive. And then the big chunk plays that they were able to make with their receivers. If you have all those things going at the same time, you have a chance to absolutely beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, and this is that gauntlet that we talked about preseason when the schedule came out. You come out and you beat the Raiders 33-16 tonight. You're 4-5-1. They dropped some games we didn't expect them to lose, so now it's totally an uphill climb. You've got to find a way to win all of these.
There's no margin for error. There really isn't.
Yeah, Eagles, Chiefs, at the Lions, then you're home to Vikings and Chargers. But the way that the Chiefs are playing, obviously at the Lions is going to be tough, but Vikings, Chargers don't have both their starting tackles. Certainly games that the Cowboys play up to standard.
What do we say, for the next 5 at home?
At home.
Yeah. You got to find a way to win all these games. You really do.
Got to make it happen.
Yeah.
877-881-1053, the number to call, the number to text, the official postgame show of your Dallas Cowboys. Zach Wolchuk alongside the Super Bowl winning scout, Bryan Broaddus. Let's hear from the man who made his Cowboys debut. What a debut it was. 1.5 sacks, 5 pressures, multiple quarterback hits. Here was Quinnen Williams.
Quinnen, first and foremost, can you just talk about the emotions of starting the game, memorializing Marshawn, and how you guys kind of use that as fuel to help get off to a fast start?
Definitely emotional. A guy who played with relentless effort, a guy who was smart, a guy who made plays on the field. So seeing that picture for me personally, just gave me the motivation to play like him, to play with effort and to make plays also. So
how good did it feel to go out there and not only debut for the Cowboys after being off from football for a couple of weeks, double bye, but to have the explosive debut that you had?
I'm playing with some great individuals, man. You got Kenny Clark, you got Osa, you got Easy, you got JD over there, man. So the guys around me, man, is playing unbelievable. It helped me. All I just kind of needed to do is just do my job, and it was that, man. But having a great group of guys around me make it easy for me. So.
What was the move on the sidelines like in the game with moving the Lakers in the locker rooms? You guys are able to, perhaps for the first time, celebrate for the first time?
I know Monster defensive line is one of those things, like his excitement, his positivity, but want to keep stacking these, man. Want to keep stacking these performances and want to keep getting better week in and week out. And that's just the main goal, man, to keep getting better, keep stacking up the good things, fix the bad things, and win football games. So.
Donovan was a rock earlier. It must be exciting for a young guy Cam did get his first safety.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what has the positive impressions, specifically some of the things he's done to impress?
A young guy, man, who played a game and who carried himself like a 12-year veteran. The things he can do when it comes down to rushing the passer, the physicality when it comes down to stopping the run is unbelievable from a rookie especially. And then the sky's the limit for him. And I can't wait to be a part of his development and wait to be a part of his success because he's going to have a lot of success in this league for years to come. So.
Quinnen Williams, man, it's great to have him. 5 quarterback hits, as I mentioned, tackle for loss, 1.5 sacks. The guy was fantastic tonight. Took advantage of a weakness for the Raiders and really allowed others to feast. And that's something moving forward that you should be very, very excited about. The development of Donovan Ezeraku as well. But those two together, you've now got a building block along your defense.
Well, now what you have is a situation where if teams, not everybody's going to have 5 offensive linemen that are poor like the Raiders. There'll be teams that have guards that are poor, a center that's poor.
Yeah.
But you now have somebody that can clearly take advantage of poor inside play. And that's great because that will help Donovan Ezeraku, that will help whoever's rushing Houston, whoever's rushing on the outside. If it's Osa rushing on the outside, now playing some of that, it'll help him. So yeah, it's having a guy that plays with that much power, that much quickness, that much explosiveness, with his ability to walk guys back, because really now what you could do, and to take a line from my guy Vach Lombardi, is you find the scrub. And whoever that is on that offensive line on the inside 3, you put Quinnen Williams over that guy and let him go to work. Mm-hmm. And that is going to be very, very difficult for teams to have to deal with, that a guy that's used to playing double teams, a guy that's used to playing with power, and a guy that's used to having some success doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a guy now that teams have to game plan for along your defensive line.
Yeah.
And certainly will allow for other positive mismatches for the rest of that front. All right, let's knock out a couple of these last few calls. We got Randy again. I think we'll try this one line 1. Randy in California. Randy, what's up, man? You got us this time?
Yeah, I got you guys.
What's up? What you got?
Well, I'm just calling in again because I had a lot of you guys were trying to get a hold of people and they weren't answering, so I figured I'd just call in again.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I got a question. So what's going on with Phil Maffa? Just because, I know Williams.
He's ready to play. He's ready to play. They're just not going to play him right now. But he's ready. He's healthy and ready to play. There's several guys they've got like this, matter of fact.
Josh Butler.
They've got guys they're kind of keeping on ice right now that they're going to have to make a decision on here coming up. But Phil Maffa is just not in their plans right now, is the way it's going. Now we'll see. This was the 3rd activation for Davis, right? So how many of these do we get? Do we get 3 only?
I think it's 3.
Okay, well, we have to check the rules on that, but he's been activated now 3 times.
Yeah, if you want to keep him.
So you got to keep him up if that's the case. It might be a situation where they do something, maybe they put somebody on IR again. It seems like that's the plan they've been doing to keep him up. And if that's the case, then that probably means that Jadon Blue's not going to play at all this year, is what that would mean.
Well, that'd be unfortunate because I think moving forward to 2027, I think getting him reps would be very important, especially not knowing the future with Williams. And I know it's possible. I just don't see it happening. Is there any way we can keep Clark on this defensive tackle? To me, he seems so much better than Osa.
Yeah, but you just signed Osa, and that's you got 3 guys making $20 million. And the one guy that's the easiest to move on from is Kenny Clark.
There's no guaranteed money.
There's no guaranteed money left. So,
maybe you can rework the deal with him.
Yeah, you can maybe get him to sign back. I gut feeling, if you do something with Kenny Clark and it's you have to release him, I could see him going back to Green Bay.
I was only saying just because, Brian, you said, Jerry doesn't have many campaigns left.
He doesn't. He really doesn't.
Yeah, and I was thinking, if he's really trying to go all in for 2027, which I would totally commend him doing, you make sure those first round picks are good impact players right away and just go for it.
Let me ask you this real quick. You're gonna keep 3 defensive tackles making $20 million, or are we gonna sign George Pickens? What do you want to do?
You could tag George Pickens. And
I'm saying it would sign. I asked you if you wanted to sign.
Oh, yeah. Then if it's between them two, yeah, I'm keeping George Pickens and letting Clark walk.
Yeah, there we
That's
go.
fine.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're in that mode right now. If they were going to do that, I agree with you. I think they could tag. I think the plan would be to tag. But if I put your feet to the fire and said, who do you want? You want Pickens or you want Clark?
You want Pickens.
You want Pickens, yeah.
But I'm with you, Randy. I mean, I think you finally have a strength here at defensive tackle. I'd like to be able to keep Kenny Clark here, but at that price tag, it's not going to happen most likely.
I agree.
So they'll either have to work something out. But, yeah, if he ends up being a free agent and he has the ability to sign elsewhere.
I think he goes back to Green Bay if he has that.
That would stink, and that would make a lot of sense. And, yes, so you've got up to 3 times during the regular season you can use the standard elevation. After that, the player's got to be signed to the 53-man roster for the 4th time, and Davis has just had his 3rd elevation.
So, yeah, they're out of that. Now, we'll see. Maybe now it's the situation where I like to say, I know Maffa's ready to go. I don't think there's anything wrong with Maffa. They just have not. Maybe now that he would, maybe they can use him like they use, but they'd have to put him on. He'd have to be activated, right? Because is he on that recall list? He'd
have to be activated as well.
So, yeah, you'd have to find a roster spot for him.
All right, let's shut it down with Dave calling in line 2 in Hurst. Dave, what's going on? How are you tonight?
Good. Am I on right now?
You're on.
You are on.
Okay. Maybe Broaddus, I think you probably know this question, answers this question the best. Who was the guard that Quentin Williams bull rushed with the Raiders? I was trying to figure that out. If it was Kappa, I'm like, no, I don't think it was Kappa. It was one of those other guards.
Well, he got Putnam. They got Putnam a couple of times. The center.
It was Putnam.
Putnam, the center, was not very good in this one today. But there was who's our guy? The rookie. Not oh God. Why am I thinking? I'm drawing a blank on this guy. I'll think of it here in a second. But go ahead. Do you have a question?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's you already answered my question about you thought it was Putnam, and I thought
it was Putnam was the one that had the most problems. Let me see here. Parham was. I think Parham was one. Parham gave up a sack. He had 6 pressures. That was one of the guards. Meredith was playing some in this game as a guard. He had a problem. He's normally the center. He gave up 6 pressures and half a sack. So it was either Meredith, Parham, and Putnam. I think Putnam was the one that they beat up a little bit too in this game. So those were the inside 3 that they got.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a dog in the fight about this because I'm a Cowboy fan, but if I was Tom Brady and Mark Davis, I would start thinking about adding some bulk up there.
The Raiders have tried. They've tried to spend money, and they've tried to use draft picks and stuff. I would anticipate them in this next draft. I mean,
they lost their top tackle, Colton Miller, for the season.
They're gonna. I think they're going to take an offensive.
Powers Johnson, they took in the 2nd round. He's injured and hurt.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they spent some money and try and rebuild this thing that way, and then maybe use a draft pick as well.
Anything else, Dave? You good?
No, that's just basically my comment, and I think Cap is probably the best player out there, Raiders. But anyway, I don't have a dog in the fight. Just observation. As I told you before, I appreciate y'all, guys.
Thank you,
Dave. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
877-881-1053. That'll always be the number to call, the number to text. 33-16, Cowboys beating the Raiders. They improved to 4-5-1. We'll put a bow on this one. We'll get our player of the game. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Whether you're in the courtroom or on the field, winning matters. As a proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys, Barberry Law Firm understands the stakes when your life is on the line. Our clients have a lot to lose, so we use our 25 years of criminal defense experience to handle each case with precision.
Reserve your suite.
The Dallas Cowboys Pepsi postgame show continues. Pepsi, proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Brought to you by
Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons at Blockchain.com. Bill Nunnally, behind every great company. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. American Airlines, proud to be the official airline of your Dallas Cowboys. Ford, your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. And by DallasCowboys.com. Keep track of the boys with daily podcasts at DallasCowboys.com and on the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Snap to Prescott, back, steps up in the pocket, deep to the middle, caught by Pickens and he circles left and runs away 20, 15, 10, cuts right, touchdown. The Raiders just quit running after him, and Pickens made an incredibly surgical cut at about the 7-yard line.
George Pickens, that's our player of the game, 9 for 144 and a touchdown on 11 targets. He was absolutely brilliant tonight, and right now he's 8th in receptions in the league, 2nd in receiving yards with 908, 2nd in receiving touchdowns with 7. He's 5th in yards per reception, averaging just under 16 yards a catch. He's on pace for 1,543 yards and 12 touchdowns right now.
They're going to need him. They're going to need him to be on pace. If this team is going to get into the playoffs, they're going to need him to be on pace.
Yeah,
he's going to have to. He's going to have to be that kind of player.
And man, hopefully he continues that against the Eagles this coming Sunday.
Yeah. Yep.
As the 8-2 Eagles are heading to town for a 3:25 kickoff at AT&T Stadium. Of course, we'll have the pregame coverage 12:30 with Eric Chiofalo and yourself, Bryan Broaddus. Then myself, Zach Wolchuk, and Brian will have halftime and postgame until 9:30. But speaking of George Pickens, here was GP3.
So you're trying to tackle the goalpost?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, let's talk about, bro, because I don't know what made me jump on the goalpost, but I ain't going to do that again.
Spur of the moment thing then?
Yeah.
You just talk about your overall game and 144 yards tonight.
Yeah.
You had the most receiving yards of any Dallas Cowboy in the first 10 games of the franchise right now. Just talk about the season.
Just really credit to the guys, honestly, bro. I can only do this as much as they can. You know what I mean? I'm there with them every day. I just feel like when we execute, those type of games can't happen for me. So definitely shouts out to the guys.
What went into you and CD not starting the game on the first drive?
Yeah, certain personnel, we kind of thought they was going to come out and certain stuff, but they didn't. They started kind of hunching down on the run, so started throwing it around a little bit.
The touchdown right before the half, can you describe his play and more of the cutback that you made when he was
I'd probably just say guy gifted, thank God. Turned around, caught an in route. I was a little short. Guy missed a tackle, running full speed, put on the brakes, walked in the end zone. I don't know about the goalposts.
I feel like we having so much fun out there tonight, especially spinning away from guys and that kind of thing.
Yeah, like I said, credit to the guys for real. As far as me on my behalf, I'll probably just say running the ball hard. I feel like that's one thing that I was emphasizing tonight. You know, after catch, I knew they was going to have a lot of zone drops, so definitely run after catch.
Shotty said he had to sit you guys because you missed a couple of things during the week, and he informed you that you're going to miss the first series. Was that difficult to hear from him?
Oh, that's just like, between me and Shotty, honestly.
How can you guys build on this as an offense going into the bye? There's some things I want to clean up.
Yeah. I'd probably say, like I said, execution is really the biggest thing in this league. If you go out there and you execute, you do your job right, you do it full speed, you got great chances to beat a lot of teams. So I'd probably just say execution.
George Pickens, after the game, I thought that was a interesting answer. Yeah, it was just, the formations. The Raiders came out and they run heavy, and then we just started throwing the ball out a little bit as George Pickens. And, yes, the celebration where he slides down the goalpost, I guess he gets flagged for that, unsportsmanlike conduct. I don't love that. You let the guy
Well, they worry about the goalposts.
I get that. Yeah. I understand. Yeah. It's got a cushion on there. But
they worry about
to move.
They worry about you moving them.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well,
that's why they don't let you dunk the ball on him anymore.
I know, and I loved that. I loved watching Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez was one of the best.
Those guys, Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham
he was like the former basketball tight ends, man. They used to just dunk over that thing. Some people would get stuffed on it, which was always funny.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, shout out to George. What an awesome game. A player of the game. Zach Wolchuk alongside Bryan Broaddus after a 33-16 Cowboys win over the Raiders. Now, for those of you that are wondering, Brian.
Yeah.
Cowboys
I'm wondering.
Now sitting, still with the 13th pick.
Oh, yeah.
Via Tankathon. Didn't really move a ton.
No, we didn't move.
4-5-1. They're sandwiched between the Vikings, whom they play, and the Baltimore Ravens. You know who's got the 15th pick right now?
Green Bay Packers.
The Chiefs.
No, I'm just kidding. I knew it when it's the Chiefs. They're 5-5, right?
5-5, and you play the Chiefs as well. The Packers, the other Cowboys pick in the Micah trade.
6-3-1.
They're 24. So you've got picks 13 and 24 right now.
Not bad.
You can do some damage with that.
Yep.
Make something happen.
Yep.
So for those of you that like to tally, hey, what's going on there with the draft? That's what you're looking at. And now, from what was a game that the Cowboys needed, they needed some positivity. I mean, as Brian Schottenheimer said, there's no really moving on. They'll be forever remembering Marshawn Kneeland, and the Cowboys will honor him on Sunday ahead of the Eagles game. But you needed a win. They went out. They played great together as a team. Good team win. Defense looked good with Quinnen Williams making his debut. Great to see Overshown.
Communication was good. Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, they got caught on a couple of those waggle boot plays.
Yeah, the crossers.
But see,
they got it cleaned up as the game went on.
Yeah, the Raiders were the number one team in the league when it came to the crossers. So you knew that was going to be a little bit.
Yeah, the level throws. Early on, Gino was really picking them apart. And I'm sure, hey, Nick Sirianni and the Eagles are going to see that. But they're dealing with some drama right now. Some of the Jalen Hurts stuff is coming out. I mean, it seems like there's always something going on with the Eagles.
No Lane Johnson at right tackle. That'll help.
No Lane Johnson. He's got that Liz Frank injury.
Yep.
So the Cowboys, who did fall to the Eagles week one, but a game that, I mean, we kind of left thinking there's not a moral victory, but they played well enough to win it. And I don't know how a lot of us were feeling going into that one. But now this is, I don't know if Brad would agree, but I think everyone from now on, pretty much, if you want to get into the dance, to the tournament, as Bill Parcells would say, these are all games you've got to win.
Yeah, you have to. You have to win. You've got to make up for the three losses you had. You got to make up for the three losses. The Arizona loss right now looks terrible. At the time, the Carolina loss, Carolina playing better.
And they're a half game out of first place right now.
That was at the time a bad loss.
It was, and it was again. Chicago should have won.
Chicago was 0-2 when you played them. They were reeling. I mean, Ben Johnson. You maybe propelled Ben Johnson and the Bears to start playing better football after that. So, yeah, you've got to find a way to make up for the three you gave away, I think.
Yeah, your playoff standings right now in the NFC. The Eagles with the 1 seed via tiebreaker because they beat the Rams head-to-head at 8-2.
Blocked 2 damn field goals in that
Unreal.
game.
Then the Rams have the 2 seed currently with their win over the Seahawks yesterday. So they're 8-2. Then the Bears. The Bears is the king of the North right now at 7-3. Tampa Bay holding that half-game lead over Carolina at 6-4. They're the 4 seed. Then your wild cards are the Seattle Seahawks at 7-3. Green Bay at 6-3-1, and then San Francisco at 7-4.
I'll tell you what, not enough credit given to that quarterback coming in there and holding things in place. Mac Jones, great job of him. That thing could have gone south real fast, and he held him in there for those 5 games he played. Congratulations to him.
And in a tough division, I mean, San Francisco's 4-1. 4 of their 7 wins are in that NFC West. And then you got the Lions at 6-4, the Panthers who play San Francisco. That's a big game on Monday night now at 6-5. And then you've got the Cowboys at 4-5-1. Now you do play Detroit. You still get to play the Eagles. But man,
Minnesota,
Minnesota's the one team behind you.
Oh, they're
at
behind
4-6.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you lose to the Eagles and now you're 4-6-1, then you're kind of looking like it.
Yeah. We're working on the draft. Yeah.
We are.
I asked you if you're going to cough all night in my show, and you have done a great job of coughing all night.
I've tried to do a better job of it, you know.
You promised me you would. You promised me. You said, "Yeah, watch me. I'm going to cough."
I'm a man of my word.
3 hours I do this broadcast.
It never went over the air, though. Never once went over the air.
You thought about it a couple of times.
Well, also what it is when you're off for a week and a half for paternity leave. I'm also, and you're not sleeping either, so I know you don't give a damn, and that's by choice. Yeah. I've got a baby that's waking me up every 90 minutes.
So you're going to go home and take care of a baby?
I'm going to go home and probably, absolutely. I'll be changing diapers and feeding. You think my wife cares that I work tonight? Absolutely not. No. She doesn't care. No. Honey, get up. Go clean this poopy diaper. And that's what I'm going to have to be doing. And then we'll do it all again tomorrow. We'll watch the tape in the morning. That's what we do. That's what we signed up for.
I got to watch tape in about 4 hours.
Life we love.
4 hours.
But 33-16, Cowboys get the win over the Raiders. Big thank you to everybody involved in this one. Peyton Russell. Some hiccups. This was our first one in the new studio.
Yeah.
Peyton did okay.
I'd say he did okay.
What was your overall grade?
Yeah, I'd give him an A-.
A-?
Yeah.
I'd go B+. Yeah. There's a couple issues with the phone.
Yeah.
And Peyton's taking off tomorrow morning.
There's no question about that. He's figured that one out.
He's
real
smart.
fast.
He's a smart man.
Yeah.
Big thank you, of course, to Dylan Moore, of course, Trevor Beck, Jet Nelson, Douglas Bearclaw back at Master Control there at the Star in Frisco. We love you. And we'll be back, of course, next week, as I mentioned, 3:25.
These games are going to come fast and furious. Get ready. The next 3 weeks are going to come fast and furious.
Well, you got Sunday, and then you turn around Thanksgiving.
Sunday, Thursday. Get ready. Yeah.
And then at Detroit. I mean, this is the gauntlet. Yeah. Are they up to the task? I feel a little bit better. Do you feel a little bit better? I feel better about this defense.
We'll see.
Now, it was the Raiders, Brian.
You know what? Hey, we all knew the Raiders sucked, okay? We all knew that going in. We did. This was going to be a game you had to win, and you did. Keep coughing, Zach. It's good for you, man.
I'm good. Sometimes I love you, but I hate you.
Yeah.
I do. Okay, we'll be doing this 12:30, as I mentioned, pregame on Sunday. I love you all. Cowboys got to win. I know it was the Raiders, all right? Quit texting in about it.
Yeah, it was the Raiders.
You can only play who's on the schedule.
That's
all right.
right.
Until next time, we'll have from AT&T Stadium, the Miller Lite Field Club. We'll be doing postgame with you. Hugs and hand pounds, everybody.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in...